Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the January 2020 Mortal Kombat patch notes analysis and exploration, starring me, Sodium Jim, and co-starring my beautiful lovelies in chat as they join chat. This has been quite the polarizing patch so far. Polarizing in the sense that not so much in how people think it's a good or a bad thing, because I think a lot of people, I think it's more unanimous that it is good than bad, but it seems to have a lot of unintended changes, which we will be discussing as we go on. This first section by itself is going to take a lot of time to cover, so yes, let's start from the top. Move list corrections, fine, because there's a lot of move lists in the game that don't make sense. Improvements to AI logic, fine. Fixed issues with some augments not working correctly, fine. Fixed issues with random select in online matches. Okay, that was interesting, I didn't know that was a bug. Fixed several sources of online desyncs. So hopefully that means that now people like Hotspot Internet can't blow you up. Hey, how you doing, Crazy Gamer? You good? Yeah, so hopefully that means now that people who desync you from your games won't be able to, or at least they've tried to fix most of it. So, right, this is where we start getting into the shit though. This is where we start getting into the trenches. Armor on fatal blow attacks now start up in 8 frames from 5. So, morning Charlie. How you doing, my man? Yes, well that's exactly what I've just said. They've got, I think mostly this is a very positive patch, which I will analyze in. Yeah, I'm doing good, my brother. I'm doing good, thank you. I mean, we'll do a Jerry's final thought at the end, but fatal blow attacks now start up in 8 frames from 5. So what that means is, well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I'm gonna go through the whole thing, and then I'm gonna get to. I'll give you my final thoughts at the end, but. Fatal blows now start at 8 frames up from 5. So that means now, if you time your meaties better, in theory, you won't get wake up fatal blowed as much. That's what it says in theory, because obviously the armor startup now is from 5 frames. So if you hit them at the start of the before the 5 frames start up, it blows it up. It doesn't come out. But obviously you were still liable to get hit, because that meant that you had to time it much stricter than you do now. 8 frames means that if you have a 7 frame down one or a 6 frame down one, and you know they're going to wake up fatal blow, more often than not I reckon you'll blow it up. So yeah, that is a very positive change. Fatal blow attacks now start in 8 frames. Positive. Fatal blow attack characters, all except Cassie Cage, can no longer hit opponent from behind. Now that is also a very good change, because I've actually lost count of the amount of times I get hit by Frost, especially for some reason. Hello, T-Bag. Easy. Yeah, that's true as well, Mima. Yeah, you can actually, if you have a 6 or 7 frame, well, you don't have a 6 frame standing one. If you have a 7 frame standing one, then you can, and you're brave. You have to be hella brave, because that's 1 frame of effing it up. You can full combo punish into. We'll get to it, T-Bag. We'll get to it. We're working at the top, but I mean, you guys can talk about it in chat. Obviously, I'm not going to stop you guys. Yeah, I don't know why Cassie Cage is the exception, but maybe they just haven't figured out how to fix it. But yeah, that's also a positive thing. Ducking front punch, ducking front kick, and ducking back kick cannot be cancelled into a special move when flawless blocked. This is an extremely positive thing. Now, I'm going to tell you guys from now that the key thing of this patch is you've got to learn how to flawless block. I'm telling you that right now. You're going to see a lot of the themes as things go on down the page. Is flawless blocking now is an extremely important mechanic. Starting with this. So this is basically, if you flawless block a a Dirtbag Kano down 1, he can't throw an acid after it. If you flawless block a Kung Lao down 1, he can't do a hat spin after it. So, if you know, being flawless blocking down pokes completely negates the ability to get hit now by a special move. They cannot cancel into a special move after. Obviously, ducking back punch is an uppercut, which is why it's not been included in that list. But I don't know why they don't just say 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, why they call it by its actual name. But so down 1, down 3, and down 4 now cannot be special cancelled into a move when flawless block. That is a huge change. Yeah, true, Sima. Yeah, if you flawless block if you flawless block down 4 with Cetron, they can't cancel into natural barrier. So that's a massive change. I mean, this is what I mean now about you have to learn how to flawless block, because even if you don't do a follow-up, it's your turn again. So people can't steal special moves from you if you flawless block the pokes now. Johnny Cage can't do down 1 rising star, you know? So very, very, very interesting, and I think positive change, especially going forward. Jumping 2 has 5 less frames of block stun on block and flawless block. I'm going to go do these in one whack, the jump ones, I'm going to do all in one go and then explain it all in one go. Thank you for the host, Habs, and mentality as always. Bless you, boys. Man, my throat is sore today. But yeah, so look, I'm just going to talk about all the jump stuff in one go, and then we can discuss it. Hello, Lord. It wasn't hard, but there was more times that you would do it than others. I think now you have to learn to do it all the time, rather than in certain situations. But we'll get to it. Jump back punch has 5 less frames of block stun on block and flawless block. That means the jump 2s now are less positive. They're still pretty positive, but they're less positive than they were. Actually, depending on when the jumping is, I think. Because before, a jumping body splash could even be like +8. So that's still plus, but it's much less plus than it used to be. But now on block and on flawless block. Jump 1 and jump 2 attacks can no longer be cancelled into air special moves when flawless blocked. So what that means is, if a Cabal does a jump 2, or a Jade does a jump 3, and you know when they combo into glaives afterwards, after you've blocked it, and they hit you because it's, you know, they've just cancelled it, they've block confirmed it in the air. If you flawless block the jump in, they are now unable to cancel into the special move afterwards. So, hey, morning August, how you doing, my brother? Yeah, so now, that's sort of air online. Same thing with Citron, she can't do jump kick into Fire Blast if you flawless block the jump kick. You can still do it, from a jump punch. Yeah, so cannot be cancelled into air special moves when flawless blocked. Amazing. Jump front punch. So jump 1 and jump 2 cannot be cancelled into normal attacks or ground special moves upon landing. So what that means as well is, if they do a jump 1 or jump 2, so you know how you get a Kung Lao or a Sub-Zero would do jump 1 into 1-2. If you flawless block the jump 1 now, they can't combo into 1-2 straight away. They can't just dial it in and get the plus frames and auto shimmy you. So that's amazing. So all of that stuff now, but this is what I mean about having to learn how to flawless block. It is now imperative that you learn how to flawless block jump-ins. It is imperative, you have to, because if you don't, all of this shit still works. This is only if you flawless block. What I've been talking about right now only works if you flawless block. But now imagine a Kung Lao does a jump 2, Sub-Zero does a jump 1, Baraka does a jump 1. You know, all these characters that just have these brain dead jumping options. Geras jump body splash. You know, they just jump in, dial in the combo, they've auto shimmied you and hit confirm you into 37%. You can't do that now. Hello, Blackheart. If you flawless block the jump ins from a 1 or a 2, they can no longer cancel it into an air special move, and they can no longer cancel it into a ground special move or a normal move. That is absolutely massive. That is absolutely massive, and I think that is an amazing, amazing change. Because I mean, being able to dial in off stupid shit like that is an NRS staple. But giving you the ability to negate it is, I think it's just amazing. What do you guys think? I think before we talk into the jump kick stuff, because that's gonna sorry, I'm losing my voice. Before we cancel into the jump kick stuff, because this cancelling has a whole separate issue now, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. We'll get to Geras. Right now we're talking about jump punches and jump kicks not being able to special cancel when flawless blocked. Amazing, right? I think that is such a positive change. Thanks, Nick. So I'm just closing the window because we got my man Mr. Leaf Blower is outside again. I think that is an amazing, amazing change, and we can talk. I'll show you guys what it looks like in practice mode at the end of all of this. Jump kicks. So jump kick attacks have slightly increased damage scaling to match jump punch attacks and 4 more frames of recovery when blocked. Absolutely amazing, right? Hey Taylor, how you doing, my man? Well, that's the next bit. That's what we're going to talk about in the next bit. Jump kicks have slightly increased damage to match jump punks and 4 more frames of recovery. That's amazing, because from now, jump kicks are now unsafe, thankfully, or at least, at the very least, not as plus as they were before. So if somebody just keeps jump kicking on you, that means that they're gonna you know it's not as much. Nice one, James. It means that they're not going to be able to be as oppressive again. I'm really sorry if this shit is so loud. Maximum of +2, which is amazing. Thank you, T-Bat. And that has to be like a mad deep one as well. That's not like if they're jumping at you from half screen, which is usually what happens, jump kicks. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly what the frames are. We're going to test it at the end of all of this, but that is an amazing change as well. And damage scaling as well on jump kicks. Super strong. Jump kicks can no longer be cancelled into air special moves when flawless block. So this is like here, it says here, special move when flawless block. Again, if a Jade does a jump kick on you and tries to combo into air glaives, then if you flawless block it, those glaives aren't going to come out. So that is it's just an amazing. All of these changes are amazing, but this is why you have to learn how to flawless block now. Thank you for the follow, Baraka, or B4R4K4. But thank you, Baraka, much appreciated. Yeah, so jump kicks can no longer be cancelled air special move and flawless block. I wonder if that works with things like Katana. You know how Katana has that teleport kick and she can amplify it into the fans. I wonder if that counts as a jump kick attack, and then if you flawless block the jump kick, she can't amplify it in the fans to make it safe. That'd be interesting, Bawaka. But we can test that afterwards. Jump attacks no longer have to be can no longer be cancelled into ground special moves upon landing when blocked or flawless block. Now, this is a very interesting change. What this means is, ladies and gentlemen, probably not so much at a lower level because they're just going to cancel into that shit regardless, but yes, that is what it means, Brother Prime. That is precisely what it means. But this is a very interesting issue now that they've created, because I understand why they've made this change, because jump kicks can no longer be cancelled in the ground special move when landed or blocked or flawless block. So what this means is you can't do something like jump kick shoulder or jump kick nomad dash. Hi, Bonnish just better. I mean, it couldn't get worse unless they nerfed it. How you doing, Molly? But yeah, so now, so what this means is people can't do jump kick, nomad dash if you block or something like that. So you can't cancel like jump kick, hat spin if you block the jump kick, right? So that's a good change. However, what they've unintentionally done is now, in fighting games, for those of you that are unawares, I think probably jump kick. Yes, especially when it's flawless blocked, Yankee. That's more or less what it is. But I'm going to explain now what the situation is with the jump kicks. Also, how you doing, my man? I hope you're doing well. So now, in fighting games, for those of you that are unaware, there's a special mechanic, and I don't know if it's in every fighting game, but it's in a lot of fighting games, called an option select. An option select is when you input you input one thing and it covers multiple options. So in Street Fighter 4, there was an option select, otherwise known as crouch checking, which was if you press down, light punch and light kick at the same time, it would do a light kick. However, light punch and light kick was also throw tech. So the reason why that was an option select was that if your opponent throwed you, you would tech it, but if the light kick hit, you could confirm it into a full combo. So that is an option select. You're putting in one motion that covers a multiple of options. However, now what we have is, from what I can tell, that they've basically made jump kicks an automatic option select, in the sense that now they only come out, so you can still input the grounded special, but you don't have to option select it. You're not making a conscious decision to option select it to cover the option. Now it's an automatic option select because, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, so now the special moves come out only if the jump kicks hit. So you can do a jump kick into shoulder tackle, Shao Kahn shoulder tackle, say. If the opponent blocks it, the shoulder tackle won't come out. But if you input the motion and it hits, it will come out automatically. Is that the way? I mean, that's what I was saying. If we go to Twitter for an example, I think Orp and On Kratos both had examples. So here we see. So can you see he's block kicking, and then he's probably got it on random block. Oh yeah, it really is random block. Stop blocking! Yeah, so it actually comes out. So that I would follow on Kratos anyway, because he's a G and he's very good at fighting games, especially Mortal Kombat. But so yeah, so that is where there's a weird unintended consequence. I'm sure that NetherRealm will fix that, because that's definitely not supposed to be. Easy Kickman, how you doing, my man? I'm sure. Hello, Poosin. I'm sure that is unintended, because wait, let me update my command actually. Custom command. So for those of you that want to read the patch by yourselves, if you just do !patch, the patch will come up and you can read it. There you go. Papa trying to be a dragon. Hatch an egg. Oh, Vanilla. Yeah, actually, I'm glad you're here, Vanilla. If you don't mind, when we get to the Scarlet changes, would you come on to my Discord and I mean all of them. This is a very, very, very comprehensive patch. A lot of stuff has been changed. Hey, hello, Talia. How you doing? How you doing, Yosef? Yeah, because Scarlet got bodied. Unintentionally, but still. But yeah, so this is definitely an unintended thing. I imagine they'll fix that, because right now all they've done is is built in an option select, so that when you do jump kicks, if the jump kick hits, your special move will come out, making it even easier to hit confirmed jump kicks now. I mean, they do less damage, but still, they're definitely going to need to fix that. Speaking of Scarlet nerfs, characters that have escaped failed on crushing blows on both towards and back throws can now only use one crushing throw per match. I think of all the things I've read in the patch, that is the actual stupidest thing. It is so stupid. Now, what is the point in characters having 2 crushing blows? It's literally pointless. I know you can say, oh, you've got the fear of it and you can lock and load both, but ultimately, yeah, I can I can imagine pros and cons. I don't think it's fair. I think they should just get rid of... Yeah, exactly. I agree with Molly. I agree with Molly. Because now you've got characters like Scarlet. All of her crushing blows are complete shit, right? Yeah, but you die from guessing wrong twice anyway. Any character in the game you die from guessing wrong twice. It doesn't matter if you guessed wrong with a throw. Just because it's unbreakable damage. It's just... I feel like they've taken away characters like Scarlet specifically. But if you've got 2 crushing... What is the point in characters having 2 crushing blows now? Like Molly said, you might as well have just taken one away from... Character like Nightwolf, take one away. Lou, take one away. Noob, take one away. Yeah, you can't... Yeah, but with Jade it's all about pressure anyway. But yeah, I think that's a really silly change. Baraka, take it away. I mean, with characters that have massive damage outputs anyway, then fine. But characters like Scarlet, who, you know, they struggle from that. I mean, they didn't fix her 4-2 crushing blow. Is it 4-2 the overhead? Just keep scrolling down, dude. Kickma, and then you'll get it. But yeah, I think that's a really awkward change. I don't know why they did that. Because clearly they've put crushing blow throws in on purpose, because that's how they want the character to be played, is around the throw mix-up. Right? If you think about characters that have throw crushing blows, they usually have good down buttons and can pressure you into taking the throw. Like Nightwolf, like Lou, like Noob, Kano. Scarlet didn't have that. If Scarlet grabs you, you're probably playing it wrong, because she shouldn't be right next to you anyway. But yeah, I think that's silly. I feel like that is just like a fuck it. We don't know how to rationalize it, so we're just gonna get rid of it for everyone. Like, we can't balance it yet, so we're just gonna do it. So maybe they'll revert it at some point. Maybe they won't, but I feel like this is a really weird one. And this is the only one. This is the only change that I've read so far that I was like, really? But mostly I just feel sorry for Vanilla, if I'm going to be honest with you. The only person I thought of and felt bad for was it was Vanilla. I was like, oh, dude. Fixed an issue that could cause incorrect victim regions for several frames if the character went from ducking. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. Fixed rare issue that could cause a character to get hit by a high projectile if they were duck blocking. Oh, good. Yeah, I got hit with Johnny's fucking energy throw thingies a lot. That's definitely not a rare issue. That used to happen to me all the time. Or Sub-Zero's ice ball. Fixed issue with defensive bar not filling at correct rate when round ends. Interesting. Added several new brutalities. Alright, that's cool. Combat League, who gives a shit, that's not going to change. Crypt, added new Netherforge, alright. Towers of Time, okay. Stage-specific requirements. Shirai Ryu Fire Garden, fixed issue that allowed stone cost, okay. Oh yeah. So now, Chronicus Hourglass, so all Chronica stages have interactables now. I think that's really good. Yeah. I think that's all really good, to be honest with you. I didn't like the fact that there were stages that didn't have interactables. That's the whole point of it. It's like picking practice mode in Street Fighter 4, you know? Or practice mode. I mean, in 5 I know there's an online component, but man, these are some weird changes. Alright, but yeah, I'm happy about that. So character specific adjustment. This is where we get into the nitty gritty of the characters themselves. Far H2 port now costs 2 bars of defensive gauge. I think that is a good change. I don't think anybody will be complaining about that. The only thing that I think is weird is that this doesn't change everything else, if that makes sense. So having one nerf is fine, but she's still top 3, right? Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, Crazy Gamer. It's everybody's favourite stage. Not me. I like the scumbag stages with loads of interactables, but it just means now for tournaments there's more stages, right? I like it. I think that's a cool change. But I mean, Cetron, look, I'm not going to complain. Any nerf to Cetron is a good nerf as far as I'm concerned. However, yeah, that's not gonna stop her from being arguably the best character in the game. Visual effects of Hell's Wrath, fine. It's cosmetic. Fix a red camera issue during the fatal blow, fine. Aaron Black adjusted the hit region of Quick Shot. So this is his up 2. That is good. Because his up 2 was complete shit. So if they've made that even a little bit better, then that's good. Because you couldn't do anything with it. It was literally useless. Bounty Bash. So back 1 now recovers 3 frames faster on block. Fine. Dealing Lead. 2-1 now has 5 more frames of block stun and 5 more frames slow recovery on block. So they've basically taken away his auto shimmy. Not entirely sure why they did that, to be honest with you, but they've done it. Because they hate us. Yeah, I mean, this is what... I mean, we'll get to the bottom and I'm going to talk about these changes overall in general, but that seems like a bit of a weird nerf. But anyway. So now its auto shimmy isn't as good. Frost. Cryogenic Crown now does 3 damage, up from 1. Has decreased combo scaling damage and 2 more. Oh, okay. So now Frost can do more combos with Cryogenic Crown. Is that the one where she shoots the head up? But that just seems to me decreased combo damage scaling just means that she can do more combos. It's Frostbite. Oh! Oh, okay. What? So the roly-poly head. Fine. No, I read it. Now Frost can down 1 to beat wake-up jumps and still have enough recovery to beat anyone pressing buttons used to wake up head being a tad longer. Yeah, so it's a roly-poly head. I read it. I read really fast. I just hate you. No, I'm kidding. Imagine just getting put on blast like that. I love you, Scorpion. Wear her head falls off. Yeah, I thought so. You know I always love you. Edmonton boys for life. Enfield boys for life. Now, this is the interesting bit. Maybe I'll even leave that to the end. I'll leave Geras to the end. I'll leave Geras to the end because that's he's the boy, so we can talk about that in detail. Jackie Briggs fixed an issue with several combo attacks that allowed them to be cancelled into Wall of Justice during the first 3 frames of their startup. Now, I know everybody's crying that Jackie didn't get nerfs, specific nerfs, and I understand that. However, if you look at these changes, these, especially for upgraded, all of these changes affect upgraded Jackie. So, jump kicks being less plus, jump punches not being able to cancel, jump punches being less plus, all of these are nerfs upgraded Jackie. Morning, Destiny. How you doing, my man? Happy birthday! Everybody, it's Destiny's birthday. Please give him a big round of applause. Wish the lad happy birthday from me. Bless you, man. Happy birthday, dude. But yeah, just think about it. It's not... I know she didn't get any direct nerfs, but all of these nerfs affect upgraded Jackie. So now you actually get a turn when she's doing her stupid shit, especially if she flawless blocks them. If you flawless block them. So I know that we don't have any hard nerfs like dash punch being unsafe and back 2-2 being less, more minus, and all of her other moves being minus, but this is a big change, especially against upgraded. So there you go. Just take it where we can get it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, take it where we can get it. It's gonna suck, but it's better than nothing. Jade. So this is her up 2. Has 1 less recovery frame. Oh, so now her up 2 is less crap too. Alright, fine. Johnny Cage. High force and low force will now have 11 startup frames. That's good. And they've nerfed his up 2. Oh, okay, I mean, better than nothing, right? This is how you have to read into this stuff. It's better than nothing for now. And I mean, I know, look, nobody moans about Johnny Cage more than I do, but you just have to roll with the punches. Any nerfs are good nerfs. And the thing is, they're not gonna make such like massive changes to the whole cast with Final Combat so close. We just have to hold faith that after March, when Final Combat is finished with the Spawn patch, they're gonna do a hench patch for everyone. So just take it for now. It's only 2 months away. Yeah, then it's only 2 months away. Don't get too salty about it already. Yeah, Final Combat is the name of the World Championships in March in Chicago. So it's the end of March. So I'm sure even the day after that or the week after that, they'll implement a whole bunch of... Yeah, exactly, Destiny, exactly. Especially the jump. Everybody was... Well, this is... Oh, again, we'll get to Geras when we get to Geras, but... Yeah, it's... Yeah. But yeah, Johnny Cage... We'll just have to hold that shit for now. Katana. Yeah, this is a weird one. I don't know why she got buffed, but... Fine. Kotal Khan. Because now this hits as a mid. That was a high before, right? Yeah, Joker's on the 28th. Back 1-4, now Jay's into all 3 fights. Yeah, so there you go. For some reason, they've buffed Highborn. Next one. Kotokan Medzikua Cut now has 2 more active frames, 3 less recovery frames, and causes 5 more frames of block stun with increased pushback. Is that the big uppercut move? Is that down forward 2? So, can't cut as hard as to punish. Okay. Thank you, pros and cons. Fix a rare issue that could cause Kotokan to move quickly across the screen if you cancel an auto-attack parry with precise timing in close proximity to an opponent. Oh, God knows what that means, but... Kung Lao. Possessed Hat now throws 2 projectiles at the opponent. Who cares? Noob. Adjusted the region of Wrath Boot. Okay, so they buffed his up 3. Okay. Interesting. Scarlet. I don't know if he is. We'll get to Geras at the end. When is the reveal of combat? Yeah, I thought it was the sword one. Damn, Timo. Potentially at the end. Potentially this week. Destiny, but... They've just said that there will be one, not when it is. How you doing, Timo? Combat Pack 2, I imagine, will be on the finals day. Kickma. Scarlet. Pour one out for the homie. Vanilla. Who's going to be in Combat Pack 2? I mean, the only one that I would think potentially is Ash Williams, because they've mentioned him already. But other than that, I don't know. Fujin people want. I imagine there'll be another guest star. They seem to be just going all in on guest stars at the moment, so maybe even potentially a new character. Oh yeah, Scarlet is hella bottom 3 now. But no, I don't know. Okay, it would be interesting to see though. Adjusted the hit region of Bloody Boot, so her up 2. So that's good. That's like Aaron Black's one, because her up 2 was crap, so at least that's a buff. Bloodport Far now costs 2 bars of defensive gorge, up from 1. Fine. Fixed a rare camera issue when successfully... Alright, fine. I mean... Why nerf Scarlet? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because the weird thing about this nerf as well is that she's already been indirectly nerfed with the crushing blow changes on the throws. But also, why are you gonna nerf her and not Raiden? Because the thing is as well, Citron can do her teleport from the air. So she would jump back, teleport, and just get out of pressure. Scarlet isn't going to be... She can cancel from a string, but she still has to commit to a flawless, blockable, and or unsafe string in order to get away from you. So... Nick. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think maybe to placate Cetron fans that were crying, but honestly, that seems like a weird change to me. But Scarlet may just have to hold that shit now, I guess. The thing is, right, the only 2 people I know that played Scarlet consistently were Molly and Vanilla. So they've played this character with all of her issues for so long now. I guess you guys just have to hold that. And I don't even mean that in a bad way. Just like, if she's your main character, then you just have to play it, right? Or change? Would you guys change? I don't know. Yeah, but Raiden and Collector aren't zoning characters. That's why they did it. So Scarlet and Cetrion are zoning characters. I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, they are. Raiden and Collector aren't. So there's no... They can't... Raiden and Collector aren't going to get more pressure. Yeah, they did it to zoning teleporters. So... I mean, Raiden's just going to teleport to get out of the dodge, but he still has to come in. And same with Collector. Whereas... Yeah, I mean, the things they need to do to these characters in this game, and we'll get to Geras in a sec, and we'll address all of this stuff, but... Hey, Classic! How you doing, my man? Yeah, it's still a weird one. It's still a weird one. Sub-Zero. So, okay, so they fixed Sub-Zero and Noobs up 3. Screaming Soul Amplify is now correctly affected by projectile destroying moves. Okay. That's a Spellmaster Shang thing, right? Hey, how you doing, Jupiter? You good? Yeah. Papa, please. We'll talk about that in a second as well. Sindel, fix an issue with several combo attacks, allowing them to be cancelled into Fatal Blow during the first 3 frames of start. Okay. Affected by projectile destroy moves. Okay, I didn't know that was an issue. Terminator, fix an issue with... Alright, so just there seem to be issues with cancelling into Fatal Blows. AI will now correctly use Terminate ability. I think a lot of people are upset that Terminator didn't get nerfed, but until somebody smokes people with him in tournament, you're not going to see him get nerfed. So, basically, the way the NRS patches work, right? And you can quote me on this, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, right? Nobody moans more than NRS players. I've been playing fighting games for a very long time now. I've been on social media since the advent of it. However, I can tell you with absolute certainty that nobody moans more than NRS players. So, these changes for these other characters won't get fixed until people moan about them. These kick changes, jump kick and jump punch changes, as Destiny said, we've been moaning about that shit for months and months and months, and they've heard and they've made the changes. They must have been working on these changes for a while, right? You can't say that they don't have at least... I mean, they've got like 3 or 4 tournament level players, like tournament winning players in their QA and development teams. They know exactly how these things work, right? So they've been working on this shit for a while, and they're trying to put it as much as they can do, right? These changes, Terminator is not going to get fixed until people cry about him. And a lot of people need to cry about him. Because that's it. That's the only way shit gets done with NRS games. Because in the old days, they'd get patched. This game would get patched every 15 minutes. This is the thing as well. This is the weird... This is like the give people what they want, don't give people what they want scenario. In every NRS game, apart from MK11, NRS fans moan that... They have nerf poke though. They have nerf pokes, but we'll talk about that in a sec. I'll get back to that in a sec. Every single NRS game, apart from this one, everyone complained they patched too much and the characters came out too soon, the space too soon with each other. Every single one, right? MK10, Injustice, everybody always used to complain. You're not letting it brew, you're not letting the meta evolve, blah blah blah, you're just releasing patch after patch and DLC after DLC. And this time they were like, right guys, we've listened, we're going to release major patches every like 4 or 5 months, and we're going to release characters once every couple of months so that the length of the game goes out. Now people are complaining that there's not enough patches and there's not enough DLC. So they can't win, right? But I'm sure they're going to stick with that system rather than their old system, because I actually do think, even though, you know, waiting for DLC characters is a bit sad, especially when you're really excited, but that builds the hype for them. The patch issue, no other fighting game has regular patches, like massive game-changing patches, do they? If you think about it, Street Fighter usually has 2 a year. Tekken usually has 2 a year, if that. So this game hasn't even been out a whole year yet. Right? And I agree, that, trust me, I agree that I feel like before this patch, it was definitely getting stale, it was definitely getting boring. Dealing with the same shit over and over again is still going to get annoying. And there's still certain characters where you will still have to hold that shit. Johnny being one, Katana being another. You know, these characters that you were hoping would get nerfed, they're not going to get nerfed until there's a massive change. So the massive change will be after the 2 main events, Evo and Final Combat. That's when the big game-changing patches are going to happen. However, even stuff like these jump kicks is a massive change. If you think about the meta, especially online at the moment, with jump-ins, then shut up, Teabag. if you think about the meta at the moment with how strong jump punches and jump kicks are, these are massive changes, absolutely massive changes, right? So these will change the way that a lot of characters who we believe needed overall nerfs will be played. Kung Lao, like I said, Kano, like I said, Sub-Zero. And I don't mean nerfs in the sense of them being too strong as characters, but their game plan. We are friends, you know I love you. The game plans are now have to be played in a different way. So this is what you mean about nerfing pokes, obviously, because now if you flawless block a down poke, they can't special cancel from it. So this is why learning flawless blocking now is imperative. As I said at the start, and I'll say it again now, you have to learn how to flawless block because it is so important. So this is where, you know, stuff like jump kicks not being able to cancel even if you don't flawless block it, I think is a massive improvement. Jump punches and jump kicks being less plus even if you don't flawless block it is a massive improvement, right? All of this stuff is very, very positive in the jump department, like in regard to the jumping in this game. Massive positive changes, right? So flawless blocking. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to learn it. You are going to have to learn it. So yeah, I think overall this is a very positive patch. We're gonna get to Geras, don't worry. I'm not gonna. Hello, Nace. I think this is a very positive patch, and I think that outside of a few weird things like Scarlet and Aaron Black getting nerfed, for the most part, especially in the overall way that the game is played, they're definitely making positive changes. Now, why did you delete Anishin's message? You just said hello. Oh. Okay. So yeah, that's my Jerry's final thought on the whole patch is positive, barring a few weird things like taking out crushing blows and throws on both sides, and weird character nerfs like Scarlet. I feel like for the most part we're definitely headed in the right direction. So that's my overall thing. Now, as a Geras main, let's talk about Geras. So, Geras as hello Joe. They made it so that crushing blow throws characters only get one crushing blow now, one crushing blow throw per match, and they've made it so that her teleport takes 2 defense bars, right? Yeah, I like the meta change as well, very, very much, very, very much. And it'll be interesting to see how that gets implemented as the day goes on. But yes, everyone's saying Geras is dead. So let's go through the changes and then we'll explain why. Geras. Titan Charge, his up to now has 9 frames of start from 6. So at 6, it was the fastest up to in the game. Ridiculously fast. You were never going to react to it, and it would trade with everything because it was so fast. Favorably for Geras. Because the way that it worked is, if you hit them both at the same time, because unless you got him like right on the start up of it, he would stay grounded and you would get launched. So it would always be in his favor. So the fact now that they've made it 9 frames from 6, they've made it slower, right? No worries, joke, dude. Time Splash. So this is Body Splash. Now has 5 less frames of block stun, which is in line with the Jump 2 changes that they've made in general. So it's less plus and block. Towards Back Punch, Front Punch. Forward 2-1 now has 4 more frames of hit advantage, 5 less frames of recovery on hit, and its cancel occurs 1 frame later. So they've made it so that forward 2-1 now it's easier to combo from if you get hit, if you hit with it. However, this is the big one. Towards Back Punch, Front Punch, Back Punch, so forward 2-1-2. Now has 25 frames of startup, so it's not the start of the string. The forward 2 is still 11 frames, but the last 2, the launch, now has 25 frames, up from 20, and recovers 3 frames slower. So what that means now, and I'm showing you all of this in practice mode, what that means now is that there's a flawless block gap between forward 2-1 and forward 2-1-2. So between the 1 and the 2, some characters can even just poke straight out of it. But for every character now can flawless block in between that string. And it recovers 3 frames slower, so that means now that you can't combo into Quicksand at the end of certain combos. So yeah, they've changed. That is a massive change. So now you can't just get pressured with forward 2-1-2 over and over again because there's a flawless block gap and just a gap in it in general, which I think, I'll go through it all and then I'll tell you what I think about the changes. Recover 3 frames slower. So they've changed Geras's combos, his optimal combos essentially. Sand Trap and Quicksand now causes 5 less frames of block stun when it's flawless blocked. What that means is now it goes from being -19 on normal block to -24 when it's flawless block. So obviously Sand Trap and Quicksand is the sand on the floor move. So if you flawless block it now, it's -24, which is a massive difference. I mean, -24 is like fatal blow levels of block of punishable. And temporal advantage hit region, which is the back forward 1, slightly adjusted when opponent is in a combo. And I'll show you what that change is too. Now, before we get into showing you guys exactly what this means for the character, essentially, I can tell you right now, as a Geras main, I think these changes are great. I think they've done a really good job. Now, I know a lot of Geras players are complaining because they think they've neutered the character, etc, etc. I can understand why, because he's definitely much less brain dead. No, he's much less easy to play. Yeah, just sitting in a cold shower with all my clothes on. It's gonna be a damn cold night. He's definitely not as easy to play now, right? And they've definitely added to the viability of Eternal and New Era now with forward 2-1. But I'll show you that in practice mode, exactly what that means. But I think that these changes are really good, to be honest with you. And they've gone from making Geras a brain-dead character to a strong character that has counterplay. And I think that is amazing. I think they need to take this model with what they've done to Geras and use it to every top tier character. Because Geras is still a monster. This is the thing that makes me laugh, right? He's still 6 frames from 9 frames. He's still got a 9 frame startup up 2, right? Hey, how you doing, Kimimaru? He's still got a really fast up 2. It's not as fast as it used to be, but it's still really strong. And even then, you wouldn't use it all the time, right? Yeah, exactly. How you doing, Cyclone? Yeah, he's still got a 6 frame down 1. None of the frame data on the startups of his moves have changed. None of his crushing blows have been changed. I'll show you exactly what I mean in practice mode in a second, but I think this was a really, really, really good change to Geras. I applaud NetherRealm for their change as a Geras player, and I feel like the only thing I would have done was make it so that forward 2 and forward 2-1 weren't -9 now. If you're going to take away the gap, if you're going to add a gap to a string, at least make the... Yeah, I'm still a Geras. I really want to learn Aaron Black as well, but we'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, I'm still a Geras main. Because ultimately, right, now you just have to think, right? No, I don't think he's dead. Alright, let's get into it. Let's just get into it. I'll show you guys.